up, everyone? Today we're going to talk about something that a lot of guys don't want to talk about, and you know who you are: snoring. Sleep apnea. It's a thing that plagues a lot of us, men, bodybuilders in general, women too, but and we don't like to talk about because it's embarrassing, or we think it's embarrassing. Today I'm going to go through my sleep apnea machine. Yes, you heard it. I have a machine. I just got it. It's been life-changing. I want to go through it with you to make you maybe feel a little bit more comfortable about getting checked, having a machine, kind of go through the pros, cons, worries, and kind of give you an insight to what I've seen since I got one. So why did I go get checked? Why did I get tested in the first place? Well, there are a few telltale signs that made me think, hey, maybe it's time. First thing is, I woke up every morning and I was exhausted. I had to probably have a nap by noon on my lunch hour sometimes, almost every day. I was exhausted. I could barely finish workouts. I thought I was sick or coming down with a sickness all the time. Second sign, my throat was killing me every single morning. It started to get so inflamed that it started affecting how I talked, my voice. That was a big one. And the third, final, biggest indication, Nicole couldn't actually sleep in the same room as me anymore. And that made me really sad because she would actually have to leave, go on the couch or in the kids' bedroom and sleep, or I had to start sleeping on the couch so she could at least get a head start on sleep. That really affected us and our relationship, and that was pretty much the last straw. It was time to get checked. So why did I need one? To be honest, I haven't always snored. If you're a bodybuilder or you're gaining some weight, or it can happen, the extra weight definitely will increase your chances of getting sleep apnea or developing it because of the excess weight in your chest, in your whole body. It just compresses things, and to be honest, really does affect your breathing. So as a bodybuilder, you start to go into a big build, you may run into this issue. Okay, so you snore. You know it. Your spouse is telling you snore. It's becoming an issue. You think maybe you've got sleep apnea. What do? First thing you do, either contact your doctor and get a referral, or contact one of the sleep. I know we used Snore MD, which is in BC here, but there are tons of them. Contact them direct, and they will help you through the entire process. What is the process? Typically what you'll do is you'll take an in-home test. You'll hook yourself up. They'll show you how to do it. You typically do 2 nights of sleep with it. It's a little annoying, I'm not gonna lie. And it monitors everything. You bring it back, they assess the results, they call you and they tell you what your results are. Okay, so what were my results? To be honest, a lot worse than I thought. And I'm glad I got checked. My oxygen was going down to 77% at some points of the night. And I stopped breathing 39 times, not in a night, an hour, which ended up being not breathing for over half an hour every night. So that was big for me. I was diagnosed with severe sleep apnea based on how long I would actually stop breathing for. I didn't realize I would stop breathing at night. I thought I was just snoring, right? So usually if you're snoring like that, usually if you have the symptoms, you're exhausted in the mornings, you can't catch up on sleep, you know, your throat is killing you. Your breathing is probably stopping throughout the night periodically. That's why you're experiencing that. So you need to get that checked. It can be actually quite serious. The longer you go without getting it checked, it actually shortens your lifespan. The biggest thing, I think, and the biggest barrier of men, or people, not kidding, but especially with us men, we've got an ego and we're worried about self-image, but the biggest thing we're worried about is kind of being emasculated a little bit by the machine or by what we have to do to be able to solve the sleep apnea. The biggest thing for me was, I was like, okay, I've got this machine on me at night. How's that gonna affect you know, our sex life? How's that gonna affect our relationship? How is she gonna look at me? Is she gonna look at me differently? Am I weaker? Is there a look to me now that is unappealing? Those are my biggest worries, for sure. What about you?
I mean, I wasn't concerned about anything really at that point, because honestly, losing sleep every night, it starts to kind of get to you. But I know that was a really huge factor for you, was how it was going to change our relationship and our sex life. And granted, on the front of the pamphlet, it's the worst picture ever. It's, you know, a 90-year-old man looking kind of decrepit in the bed. It is not like that at all. And
I can tell you, most of the people who need it are not like, you know, geriatric people.
No.
They're people just like you and I. If you're watching this video, maybe you snore at night and maybe you've been apprehensive, and I'm here to try and give you some clarity to how this actually is, and to be honest, how it's changed my life and our life. So if you could take something from it, I hope maybe just a little bit. So yeah, so let's fast forward to after getting the machine, and we'll talk about the middle there in a bit. But after getting the machine, okay, so worry number one, did it affect our sex life? Probably made it better.
Probably made it better.
Your spouse is happier, is more lively, getting sleep. You're both getting sleep.
And to be honest, it's completely separate. You have your intimate time, and then you have your time for sleeping where the machine comes on and everybody's getting their rest. So it's not going to affect your relationship at all.
No.
And to be 110% honest, it hasn't changed my views of Shayne at all. I don't view him any differently. It has changed nothing.
In fact, I think it actually helps, because now you're like, I'm the man. Yeah. I'm gonna take care of this situation. I'm gonna make sure you're getting sleep, and I'm gonna make sure I'm taking care of what needs to be done. And that's, to me, I'm very much like that in our relationship, to the fact of, you know, hey, there's an issue, I'm gonna make sure we solve it, and it's up to me to make sure that, you know, I'm doing so, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so they call you, you get a prescription from the doctor, it gets sent off, and you go in to get set up with the machine. This is the scary part, right? Not really. So I was actually a little worried. The first thing they're gonna do is you're gonna look through all the machines. The machine that I selected was this one here. There we go. And then you'll get fitted with a mask. So there's multiple masks. This is probably the biggest one that you can get. But the reason I have this one is because I'm a mouth breather and I need the full seal around my nose and my mouth, right? I'm breathing through my mouth a lot at night. I got a little bit of a deviated septum, so that's what happens there. So they're gonna fit you with a mask. That's gonna be the first thing. And then they're gonna set up your machine for you. Now, here's the scary part, right? Putting on the mask. So we're gonna do this. So the way you do it is this goes on. You wanna get a nice seal. And this is where Darth Vader comes out. Well, that's the mask. That's how you put it on. It's nice because it's pretty easy to take on and off. And then it's got this little section here. That's what you connect on. The other cool thing about it is if you've got dry mouth at night, it's actually got a humidifier. So they give you some water. You put it in here and it actually heats up the water and humidifies the air as it's going into your system. So the way the machine works, it pushes air into your airways and it keeps the throat open. So what happens is that when we snore, it closes and then the air opens it up. So if anyone's ever given you grief about it, just give them one of these. Now what you'll do is you'll connect this. You got this hose here. You'll turn it on. You can hear it. Sounds loud, but then when you put it on, that's it. So one thing that people are a little worried about, you know, seems pretty big on your face. This is made for side sleeping, so you can actually sleep on your side. The hose is pretty big, and it actually moves and swivels. So no matter where you're at, you know, sometimes you got this hose on you. I thought it was gonna be really annoying, but to be totally honest, the way it swivels on your face there, I'm so used to it now, I sleep right through the night. So how expensive is it? I mean, it's pretty expensive. I think this one here, this unit was, I think, $1,300 plus the mask. It's like $300 or $400. It ends up being about $2,200 total, I think. But the good news is most health plans will cover a portion, just like a prescription, if not all of it. So check with your health plan as well under CPAP, and a lot of them will actually cover it. So why go through all this? It's definitely changed our lives together. My life specifically, I wake up, I'm way more energized. I've got a lot more energy for the kids, for my spouse. With that rest, you know, comes clarity. I can work a lot better. I know that my longevity of life is still intact, but the biggest thing is my relationship with Nicole. It's definitely helped that immensely. It really sucks waking up knowing that she had to go sleep on the couch. You know, that's what she would do. And to be honest, if I woke up and didn't see her there, I felt horrible. So having this is just, it's gonna help your relationship. It's gonna help you. Believe me, the look of a mask while you're sleeping anyways, the benefits far outweigh the negatives.